Expos fans settling in their seats. The American national anthem played to the tune of everyone here at Olympic Stadium clapping and trying to drown the sound out. The Canadian national anthem played. A lot more silence in the building, but you really get a feeling for the mood from the fans here for the first time that we have not seen with all the media stuff, rants we saw this afternoon.
Well, and I think that's what the story's really all about. It's what the effect that this move has on the fans here in Montreal, and as I mentioned earlier, throughout all of Canada. And I think they expressed that during the anthems.
And they did. And one thing they did do before this game, the very best team in baseball in 1994 was that 94 Expos team that features the likes of Larry Walker, Moises Alou, Felipe Alou as the manager, Gil Heredia, Ken Hill, Tim Scott on hand as they unveiled a banner in left center field here at Olympic Stadium to honor that team. And on August 12th, the season went all for naught. The World Series canceled that year because of the players' strike. So very emotion-filled afternoon, which has turned into evening here in Montreal. We're getting ready for the first pitch. Carl Pavano getting the start for the Florida Marlins, a former Expo, so a little irony in that as well. But we have shown you signs all game long talking about the celebration of 36 years of National League Baseball. There have also been signs here in the crowd, rants, that we can't show you.
Well, there have been. There's been a few that we couldn't go on record with, but here again, it's just back to the fans expressing how they feel about this move. And it's very unfortunate because when you get right down to it, the bottom line is the fans are the ones that always suffer.
And indeed, they will be on their feet here tonight to cheer on the Expos for one last time. Sonny Kim making his way out to the mound, as are the rest of the Montreal Expos right now, getting prepared for the final home game in Montreal Expos history. The starting pitcher for Montreal is none other than Sonny Kim, who we had the opportunity to call the game on Friday night against the Philadelphia Phillies. The longest outing of his career. He went 8 2/3, allowing 1 earned run. Couldn't close it off. A career-high 8 strikeouts before giving way to the pen. And rants, when Kim is on, he's very effective.
Yes, he is. Good hard sinker and slider. Key for him is, here again, location. Keep the ball down in the strike zone. Coming off a great start last Friday. Came within that 1 out of pitching a shutout against the Philadelphia Phillies, a ball club which swings the bat very, very well. And in the starting role, Sonny Kim has been outstanding. In 6 starts, he's given up 8 earned runs, and that's outstanding.
And you want to talk about the success he had earlier, winning the Expos Player of the Month in April, working out of the pen. The lineup he will face tonight for the Florida Marlins, and it all starts at the top with Juan Pierre, currently on a 7-game hitting streak. Jeff Conine, who you see to the right of your screen, it is 14th home run of the year last night. Chris Aguila also hit a home run in that game. He will hit behind Conine, rewarded for his efforts last night with a couple of base hits, getting the start in right field. Castillo Gonzalez and, of course, the pitcher Pavano will hit in the 9-hole for Jack McKeon's Florida Marlins. Jeff Conine, Mr. Marlin they call him. The 1997 World Series, an original Marlin when the team came into the league as an expansion team in 1993, and Mr. Marlin will be looked on tonight to try and get the sweep for the Florida Marlins. They've won the first 2 games of this series, winning on Monday night by a 4-1 count, and last night here on the score by a 5-2 count. So Juan Pierre in a 7-game hit streak. Step in from the left side. Pierre has started each of the 2 games of this series with a base hit. And he really sets the table for McKeon's Marlins at the top of the order. Kim ready to work. Batista right down Pierre's throat. First pitch shows bunt. He elects to take the pitch. And the first pitch on the night is a called strike.
Well, a big key tonight for Sonny Kim will be to keep Juan Pierre and Paul Lo Duca off base.
The 0-1 from Kim. That misses up and away.
It's always a little easier to pitch to Miguel Cabrera, Mike Lowell, and Jeff Conine with nobody on base.
Never easy to pitch to those guys, and especially in situations where they got the ribbies waiting out there for them. They have proven that all series long as Pierre rips this ball foul into the right field seats. Nice crowd on hand here tonight. In fact, they have opened the upper deck for some of the fans to enjoy things from a little higher view here at Olympic Stadium. And you can see the crowds of people actually above us here in our broadcast booth location, wanting to get one last taste of baseball here in Montreal. The 1-2 from Kim, slashed foul, this time to the left side. And those will be souvenirs that the fans will be very glad to take home as part of the memories here on this final night. Montreal, a record of 65 and 93 entering play tonight. 1-2 in there, and Kim gets Pierre looking. The starting defense for the Expos looks like this. At the corners, Tony Batista plays third. Brad Wilkerson is over at first base. The double play combination looks like this. Meiser Asturis is the shortstop. Brendan Harris continuing to play, making his 5th consecutive start at second base for the injured Jamie Carroll. In the outfield from left to right, it's Termel Sledge, Juan Rivera, and the Expos minor league player of the year, Ryan Church. One down in the inning for Paul LaDuca. First pitch up and in. One of the things, Grants, I noticed about Kim working in his game Friday night against Philadelphia, the ability to really locate the fastball. I think that's key for any pitcher, but that was the key to Kim's success on Friday night. 1-0. Slashed at by LaDuca. Right up here underneath the press box. We talked about Kim, the longest outing of his career, 8 2/3. He had 8 strikeouts in that game as well. Also a career high through 93 pitches, but just couldn't get that final out. It killed Frank Robinson to have to come out and yank Kim from the game, but that was the best thing at that time. And Kim got a standing ovation from the crowd in the house here at Olympic Stadium. The Duca fouls off that pitch. Count 1-2.
Well, back to Sonny Kim, you've mentioned that his location has been excellent. It was Friday night, and so far starting out this evening, his location's been very good. You know, Randy St. Clair, I didn't realize, but Randy St. Clair, the pitching coach for the Montreal Expos, feels like Sonny Kim has one of the best arms on the staff.
Kim works that pitch low and away, a breaking ball that hits the dirt. LaDuca wants a new one, and he'll get it.
Oftentimes, I think the tendency is to think of a pitcher that is primarily sinker slider to not be one that's overpowering, but Sonny Kim can definitely be overpowering at times.
Sneak that fastball in there with great velocity. The 2-2 on its way from Kim. Hit to right field. Church giving chase into the corner on the run and makes the catch while meeting the wall at the same time. Good running catch there by the left-handed Ryan Church. 2 down in the inning.
Well, Ryan Church, right-hander, hits the ball to right field. It's going to be slicing away from you, and he has to contend with the wall down there, but a nice job to get over there, stay with it, and make the catch. Here again, these big league outfielders sometimes make it look easy, but that was a fairly difficult play.
Well, Rance, he was the Expos minor league player of the year, recognized more for his offensive abilities, but they're putting the defense on display as Miguel Cabrera steps in. How'd you like to have his skills at the age of 21?
At any age, I'd like to have his skills. I often wonder what it's like to play baseball with that type of ability just for one day, much less a career.
Unbelievable, the numbers Cabrera has put up in a short time. And at that age, it just seems so hard for so many guys to be able to pick up the game of baseball, to deal with the mental aspect of it. But Cabrera has seemingly done all that while putting up good numbers along the way.
Well, sometimes some players are just blessed with so much ability that it compensates for lack of knowledge. And of course, that's not to say that he'll eventually, as he matures and the more that he plays, he's going to learn more about how to play the game of baseball and just get better because of that. But here's a young man that at the tender age of 21 or 22 has exceeded 30 home runs, 100 RBIs, and 100 runs scored. And he's in some very, very good company. Only a handful in the history of the game of baseball have done that.
Well, if you look at this list of gentlemen who have made this feat happen under the age of 22, that is 30 or more homers, 100 or more RBIs, and 100 or more runs scored. And with 2 more runs, Cabrera will be the 8th player on that list in the history of Major League Baseball. Hit on the ground, left side, 2 out to Batista. Long throw over to first, stretch by Wilkerson, and the inning is over. So Sonny Kim continues the fine pitching he showed us on Friday night, going 1-2-3 in the top half.
This program on the score brought to you by Subway. Good, so you don't always have to be. Subway, eat fresh.
Yeah! Go to the Grey Cup!
Why play your way to the Grey Cup when Subway Restaurants is giving away 5 trips to the big game? Come in, then enter online. Plus, with any Lay's potato chip purchase, get another chance to win from Subway.
Sports Illustrated has called it one of the greatest sports stories of all time. On October 8th, the best-selling book becomes a major motion picture event from the producer of 8 Mile. Friday Night Lights at theaters Friday, October 8th.
The 2005 Echo hatchback. What goes in the hatch is up to you. Take advantage of low financing now at your Toyota dealer.
Welcome back to the Big O. No stranger to Olympic Stadium. Carl Pavano getting the start for the Florida Marlins, a record of 17-8, an ERA 3.05, making his 4th attempt at becoming the most single-season winningest pitcher in Marlins history.
Yes, going after his 18th win tonight. However, here at Olympic Stadium, he has a career mark of 17-16 with a 4.07 ERA, and he'll be facing a good young hitting ball club tonight, so not an easy task for him tonight to pick up that 18th win.
And you can bet the young Expos hitters will come out swinging in the hopes of picking up a win here in tonight's final home game. The leadoff hitter for the Expos is Brad Wilkerson. You see the home runs, 31 of them. Only Henry Rodriguez has more home runs from the left side of the plate in Expos history. He belted 36 back in 1996. Wilkerson, a very patient hitter, awaits the 0-1. That paints the black in the outside corner, and Pavano's up 0-2. Rusty Staub also on the list. Le Grand L'Orange, absolutely loved here by Expos fans. Of course, moving on to the New York Mets later in his career, 30 home runs. And Wilkerson, not a home run, but it's a base hit into center field to kick things off for Montreal here in the bottom half of the first inning. The rest of the Expos order looks like this. The young, exciting shortstop, Meiser Asturis, hits second. Tony Batista, with his 32 home runs and 110 RBIs, hits in the 3-hole. Sledge, Rivera, and Church, and then it's Diaz, Harris, and of course, Sonny Kim, who also had a couple of hits in that 8 2/3 inning performance against Philadelphia on Friday night. So Wilkerson is aboard with a base hit to left center. Asturis, first pitch swinging, hit to the left side. Cabrera barely had to move, makes the catch, 1 down. Defensively for the Florida Marlins, it looks like this at the corners. A couple of veterans, Mike Lowell and Jeff Conan. Up the middle, what the Marlins are hoping will be a double-play tandem of Gold Glove caliber. Alex Gonzalez at shortstop, Luis Castillo, the reigning Gold Glove winner at second base, will play there tonight. From left to right in the outfield, it's Cabrera, Juan Pierre, and Chris Aguila, the exciting young rookie getting the start for Jack McKeon's Marlins in right field tonight. So with 1 out, Tony Batista steps in. Wilkerson, checked by Pavano over at first.
And we can go back to that last at bat by Meiser Asturis. That's where his inexperience shows up a little bit. In that second spot with speed at first base and Brad Wilkerson, you want to take at least till you get 1 strike and give him the opportunity to run.
First pitch to Batista in there for a strike.
And that's something that will just come with playing time and learning those situations and understanding what your job is in that number 2 slot in the lineup.
Ultimately, your job is to get that guy to second base so that there's a runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs. Asturis unable to do that on that occasion. So Batista will try and atone for that mistake. Good high ball hitter, good mistake pitch hitter is Batista. A lot of people were wondering at the start of the year if that was a wise investment to go out and sign Batista, but he has put up the power numbers that he has put up over the last 5 years, in which he has averaged 31 home runs, 99 runs batted in.
Well, you can see this last pitch here, trying to run the ball in on Tony's hands, just a little too much inside. But Tony primarily, as you mentioned, he is a power hitter and primarily looks for the ball middle in. I think he likes the ball up a little bit better than he does down.
Wilkerson takes his lead. Batista hit on the ground to second. Castilla. Gonzalez, that's one. Over to first in time for the double play. So after giving up a leadoff base hit, fly out to the left, and then a double play to get out of the inning.
On DVD today.
I'm gonna fix this town.
We'll see about that. Walking Tall delivers.
Let's go.
Rock solid action. The Rock. Walking Tall on DVD today.
A 15,000-pound trailer is a lot of weight to tow, which is why we gave the new Ford Super Duty the only integrated trailer brake controller. Because a 15,000-pound trailer is a lot of weight to stop. The new Ford Super Duty, we keep thinking about tough. Because we want you to drive a Ford.
Swiss Chalet has some tips for rib lovers. New mesquite seasoned back rib tips, served with your favorite rotisserie chicken. So come in to Swiss Chalet and let us tip you for a change.
Friday Night Lights will take you closer to the game than you've ever been before.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about!
On October 8th comes one of the greatest sports stories of all time. Friday Night Lights at theaters Friday, October 8th.
Race night on The Score brings you the best in harness racing. Catch all the wire-to-wire action every Monday night starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, only on The Score.
Lawrence Frank Robinson was a guy who played his entire career very hard. At the end of last inning, Brad Wilkerson, another one of those hard players, goes in hard to second base, upsetting Alex Gonzalez.
Well, he did. It's just a good aggressive slide, which he's entitled to do. And I don't understand why Alex Gonzalez, the shortstop, is upset there. It was nothing dirty about that slide. He just went in there hard trying to break up the double play.
You gotta love the play of Brad Wilkerson. He is one guy who plays the game the right way and has his entire 3-year career here in Montreal. Mike Lowell leading it off for the Marlins here in the top of the second. Swings at the first pitch. It's a foul ball. Keep an eye on that and see if anything further develops. Of course, at some point, Castillo or Gonzalez may get to first base to greet Wilkerson when they get there. 0-1 to Kim, hit on the ground and just foul before the bag. Batista playing very deep over there at third base.
Well, oftentimes in the middle, a middle infielder occasionally will overreact a little bit, and once you get back into the dugout, you settle down and you look back and you reflect back on the play and you realize, you know, he was just coming in there hard. There was nothing dirty. He wasn't trying to hurt me, and it's forgotten.
The 0-2 to Lowell. Waste pitch from Kim, high and out of the zone.
But Brad Wilkerson, hard-nosed player, and I don't know, you might want to think twice before you said something to him down there at first base. You're awfully close at that point.
Lowell reaches for this pitch, a bounder. The shortstop Asturis over to first. Let's get you back to the Score Studios for the sports update. Here's Jim Van Boulis.
Thanks, Sammy. Reds Cubs from Wrigley Field tied at 2's top 12. Austin Kearns, that is long gone. To deep right center field, his 8th of the season, a 2-run shot. 4-3 Cincinnati would come out the victor in this one. Chicago now losers of 4 of 5. Slowly, actually very quickly, losing their position atop the National League wild card. Let's get you back to Montreal.
All right, thanks very much, Jimmy Van Boot. Second hitter in the inning for the Marlins is Jeff Conine. Conine, who hit his 14th home run of the year last night. 80 runs batted in on the season. He's been a little more adept at driving in runs in the second half than he was the first half. It's a wild hack at this pitch and fouls it straight back. Conine putting his power on display. That pitch absolutely ripped. Into the stands it went for his 14th off John Rout.
Well, Jeff Conine, a veteran of many years of Major League play, and is a professional hitter. He really has an idea of what he wants to do at the plate. And when you make a mistake to him, he can make you pay for it. Been an outstanding hitter for a number of years.
1-2 on its way, and that breaking ball misses low and away.
Well, Sonny Kim started in early in the count going hard, now trying to go away to finish Conine off. Just missed off the corner. But as we talked about so far tonight, he's been pinpoint with his command.
Fans on their feet, slapping the seats. The 2-2. Right side and foul. Talked about Conine. One of the things a lot of people don't know about Jeff Conine, he and his wife Cindy back in 1995, the 25 and over division were the racquetball champions. The United States racquetball champions in mixed competition. A pretty good athlete and keeps himself in great shape, which has allowed him to be this productive at this age. The pitch fouled off by Conine.
Well, it seems as if in this day and age, with the nutrition, the proper diet, the weight training, conditioning, that it's extended a number of players' careers. That years ago you didn't see that often.
2-2 from Kim. Hit softly, past Brendan Harrison into center field for the first Marlins hit of the game.
Well, Jeff Conine just staying back here, stays on that ball quite well, is in a great spot, able to drive it into center field for a base hit, and that's what a veteran hitter will do. He got behind in the count, but he fought off a couple of tough pitches, didn't panic, didn't start trying to pull, stayed on the ball, tried to stay inside it, and the result of it was fought off a couple of pitches, found one he could handle, and singled to center field.
Chris Aguila steps in. Very similar to the 1-2 pitch. It was probably an inch or two more outside than that one. And Kim brought it in just a little bit to paint the outside corner, but he wasn't getting it by Conine.
Well, so oftentimes with a young hitter, an inexperienced hitter, they get 2 strikes and they begin to, a little anxiety starts to creep in and they don't stay within themselves. But a veteran hitter, here again, he doesn't panic and just tries to stay back, take the ball the other way.
From the veteran to the rookie, we'll see what Aguila can do with the runner on. He's worked the count 2-0 in his favor so far. Aguila went deep last night as well. Just his second career home run.
As we'll see here last night, 3-2 count fastball, and he drives it out of the ballpark. And he showed good power. He hit that ball high. He didn't get all of it, but still able to drive it out of the ballpark. And he showed some good defensive ability late in the game last night with a fine running catch.
Well, and that's one of those things where the score is 4-2 going into the top of the ninth. Aguila comes up. He has already had himself an infield base hit in the game. And what does he do? He extends that lead to 3, giving that little more extra breathing room to Armando Benitez, who came in for his 46th save. We're seeing now a pause in play. Rick Reed, the crew chief, behind the plate here tonight, called time, went over to the Expos dugout, approached the security guard there. We've seen a couple of golf balls thrown out into right field so far in this game, and we'll try and keep an eye on that. Here, Aguila deposits this ball into left field. One hop to Termel Sledge, and the Marlins are in business here in the top of the second inning. We'd like to remind you to watch and win here on the score. Check out the Bombardier Outlander ATV. Watch it drive across the screen, and when it does, log on to thescore.ca and tell us which innings you saw it drive across the screen, and you'll automatically be entered for your chance to win the Bombardier Outlander Max ATV. So after Mike Lowell grounded out to short, Jeff Conine stepped up, served a single into center, and then Chris Aguila, the exciting young rookie, singled to left. 2 on for Luis Castillo. Kim checks the runner Conine at second, deals high and away. One of the things we pointed out, and you talked to Randy St. Clair about it, was the fact, and you see St. Clair coming out to the mound now, he is one of those guys who will not just keep an eye on Kim's mechanics, but on his body language as well. And he's very emotional guy out there, and sometimes his body language will indicate that he's not prepared to go out there and do the job.
Well, I'm not sure what's going on or being said at the mound right now, but it just appears to me like after the base hit by Jeff Conine, he felt like that was a great pitch and I should have gotten him out. Then he comes back and makes a mistake to Chris Aguila, and he drives it into left field. And it looks like he's starting to rush a little bit instead of settle in, stay back, and continue to trust your stuff.
One of the things pitchers like to do is get ahead. 1-0. Misses low, and Kim has not done that so far. In the 7 batters he's faced in this game, he's only thrown 2 first pitch strikes, and that's one of the things that we saw Friday night in Philadelphia. Hey, they were all up there hacking at the first pitch. They knew Kim was going to be around the plate. Not the case so far tonight. The 2-0 up and into Castillo.
And you can see it appears, especially the last couple of pitches, as if he's overthrowing. Right here it looks like instead of trying to keep the ball down and get a double play, he humps up a little bit. The ball's up and out of the strike zone. You have to keep in mind right here, just keep reminding yourself that I'm just 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. I get a ground ball, get a double play, and get out of it.
3-0 in there for a strike. Castillo, not one of those guys who's likely to hurt you with the long ball. Just 2 home runs this year. Does have good speed, the ability to stay out of a double play, especially with Aguila on at first. Having said that, Enar Diaz will come out and give the signs to the rest of the infield. Should a ball be hit on the ground, exactly what they're going to do here.
Well, in the event that Jack McKeon chooses to start the runners here.
Pitch inside to Castillo. It takes a 5-pitch walk, and now the bases are loaded for the 8-hole hitter, Alex Gonzalez.
But here again, okay, ball 4, you start over. And just try to get ahead in the count, keep the ball down, and get a double play ball. But with the bases loaded and 1 out, what you definitely want to do is minimize the damage, even if you give up a sac fly. Go ahead and get the 3rd out, get out of the inning, and hold them to 1 run in this situation.
Gonzalez, a candidate to ground into the double play. He's done that 17 times this year. Only Paul LaDuca has done it more for the Marlins. He's done it 18.
As a pitcher, sometimes you get too caught up in a situation like this of trying to prevent any runs from scoring, and you make a mistake and pitch yourself into a big inning.
The 0-1 hit on the ground to short. Asturis backhand, and he can't come up with the throw over to second base. So Asturis thinking double play before he actually had control of the ball. The run will score on the play. Safe at first is Gonzalez, and the Marlins strike first here in the top of the 2nd inning.
There's a ground ball. Not tailor-made double play. It was Izaturis had to range to his right, but still, nonetheless, I think if he gives the second baseman a good feed, they can complete the double play. The ball was hit fairly sharply.
That's one of the things sometimes a young player will do, get a little bit ahead of himself, as Izaturis did on that play. The bases remain loaded for the pitcher, Carl Pavano. First pitch, big swing by Pavano, wanted to help himself there.
Well, last night, early in the ball game, the Expos failed to turn a double play that they should have turned. It cost them a run. Here it's cost them a run. Let's hope that it doesn't lead to any more.
Pavano hitting 188, 12 hits and 64 tries. Another swing. Kim elects to go to the breaking ball on that occasion to get Pavano to chase.
Well, this is just a pitcher's hack here, geared for the fastball and breaking ball in the dirt. And really, you would like to see Carl Pavano put the ball in play, get a double play out of this situation. If he strikes out, you're still going to have to face Juan Pierre with the bases loaded, one of the best hitters in the National League.
You do not want to do that. Pitch hit on the ground, but foul by Pavano. And there has been times this year, more often than not, when Expos pitchers have taken a hitter off, if you will, in facing the opposing team's pitcher. We saw it with Ishmael Valdez last night, who got himself a couple of base hits, able to help his own cause, who went on to get the win and improve his record to 14-8. Kim has Pavano behind 0-2. Pitch chopped on the ground towards the middle. Batista picks it up. Only one play. That's the first to get Pavano. But the run scores. Aguila makes it 2-0 Florida.
Well, give Carl Pavano credit. He did put the ball in play, and it led to an RBI and another run for the Florida Marlins.
That's what can happen on occasion. Even a ball that's just put into play, as weakly hit as it is, because it was a chopper, Batista had no other options coming across the infield but to record the out at first base.
And here's one of those big situations that come up in a baseball game that could possibly determine the outcome. 2-0 is not, you still got a long way to go, but 4-0 changes the complexion of the game.
Garrett looking to extend that hit streak to 8 games, and he has been the most prolific hitter in Major League Baseball since August 20th. Pitch swung on, hit to right center field. Ryan Church giving chase. He won't be able to get there. It will drop. Church picks it up on one hop. Both runs will score easily, and Juan Pierre has himself a 2-out, 2-run scoring double to give the Marlins a 4-0 lead.
Well, Juan Pierre just continues to do what he's done all year long, and that's punish National League pitching. Bad location, ball in the middle of the plate, a little up, and a hitter like Juan Pierre is not going to miss it. Big 2-out double, and you can see Sonny Kim is quite disappointed and let down. But here again, it goes back to the play that wasn't made. Even if they would have only gotten 1 out in that situation, the ground ball by Carl Pavano would have ended the inning.
And instead, the error by Asturis allowed the inning to continue with the bases loaded, and the Marlins have taken advantage here in the top of the second inning, putting up a 4 spot. Paul LaDuca looks at strike 1 from Kim. Here, on in scoring position. Kim gives him a look. Pitch low and in the dirt. We talked about Pierre being the most prolific hitter in Major League Baseball since August 20th, hitting .395. That's even better than what Ichiro has done, who entering play tonight hitting .392 since that time. So Pierre extends his hit streak to 8 games and has given LaDuca a chance to add to the Marlins lead. Chopped foul towards the photo dugout on the first base side. But there's a lot to be said about a pitcher getting into a situation like this, facing a little adversity, but it's their ability to bounce back and how you judge their character, which will make them a better player for next season. Duca looks at another Kim pitch. Deuce is wild. Well, runner on at second, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs.
Anytime you're down by 4 runs in a baseball game, it's a difficult situation to be in. But down 4 in the second, if you can get out of this inning and then pitch another 5 or 6 strong innings, hold the Marlins scoreless, and give.
Breaking ball to Duca, misses away, and now the count's full. A very tough afternoon and tough evening so far here in Montreal tonight. The announcement of the relocation of the team, 4 o'clock, and Sonny Kim falling behind 4-0 here after 1.5 innings of play. The Marlins put up 4, thanks in large part to Juan Pierre.
One single moment, great moment stick out. I know you've seen the ton, but does one kind of stand above all the others for you?
Wilfredo Cordero's hit in the 9th inning to win the game during the Phillies series in 1993. A screamer down the third base line, nothing better.
I tell you what, you score every game too, don't you?
Yes, I do, since Cherry Park.
Well, what are you going to do now? Are you going to, you're a lifelong fan. You're going to follow this team when they move?
Not at all. Not at all. Montreal is it for me.
So that's it, no more?
No Washington Nationals for me.
What do you think? I mean, we can talk about this till we're blue in the face. I've talked to a lot of people about this too. There, one incident where this thing went wrong. Do you have anything that sticks out that kind of the roller coaster kept going down and it never came back up?
Most definitely, it's the 1994 strike. Maliciousness on the part of the owners to cancel a World Series. There wasn't a war. There was no war to prevent this from going on. All they had to do was, so what, we play in November. Big deal. That's all it had to be done. It's also was one of the greatest memories of my life because the 1994 team was going to win it.
Amazing, amazing. Well, you know what? That's just too bad. And my heart goes out to you and a lot of fans here because I know it's a tough day. Thanks for doing this. Okay, Sam.
Thanks very much, Ryan. A very emotional time as Harris is able to get Cabrera at first base. Big Val Pascucci making the stretch. But there are those in this city that have been very passionate about their Expos baseball. Katie Hines, quite obviously one of those fans, and she alluded to the 1993 team and Will Cordero, a team that won 94 games and went down to the final week of the season before the Expos gave way. But that was what really set the table for the 94 team, that when play ended on August 12th, 74-40. And there was a lot of talk around baseball that the Blue Jays were only a few games out of first place in the National League East, and there were some hopes here in Canada that it might be an all-Canadian World Series. But as Katie Hines mentioned, that was all for naught as the season was stopped and no World Series was played that year. First look at Mike Mordecai, the former Montreal Expo. Juan Pierre's on at second base. 2 outs in the inning here in the top of the 8th. Montreal trails 9-1. The Marlins have pounded out 14 hits in this ballgame. Sam Cosentino, Rance Mullenix, Ryan Payton along with you. The final home game in Olympic Stadium history. Beltran working to Mordecai. 1-1 pitch a little inside.
Well, as you could see, Katie was struggling to fight back tears and was very emotional, but very well said, very well spoken.
Very candid in her interview, and we thank her for being with us. Mordecai popped up right beneath us here in our broadcast location. Count 2-2. The runner on at second is Juan Pierre. There are 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs for Mike Mordecai. Francis Beltran. 2-2 pitch. Once again fouled off by Mordecai. With all the fans in attendance here in this game, there's been pretty good struggles for foul balls and souvenirs. Had the chance, Rance, to get down into the concourse area before the game, a band playing, and the smell of that grease from ballpark food. People lining up around the souvenir stands to pick up the last of Expos merchandise. Mordecai, another foul ball. It's a screamer right over the Expos dugout. Wow.
Well, there's a foul ball that was earned.
Took it right off the shoulder.
Give him credit. He didn't run from it.
No.
Kept it in front of him, and now he has a souvenir.
He's putting that ball right next to his heart. Mordecai continuing to foul off pitches from Francis Beltran. Juan Pierre on its scoring position, and another foul ball. Pretty good at bat for Mike Mordecai.
Mike Mordecai just continues to battle. Fights a tough pitch off. This has been a rather crazy at bat. He fouled the ball off the part of the net and hit a fan in the head. Yeah. Hit a fan in the chest down there, just above the dugout down there, and now beats one off his own foot. So
he's picking him off left, right, and center.
He's got it all covered so far. I think we have another golf ball thrown on the field from left field again.
First base umpire Mike Fichtner will throw that ball into the Expos dugout. Things have slowed up just a little bit here in the top of the 8th inning. Beltran again set to work the 2-2. Goes up high, and finally Mordecai doesn't get a piece of this one. A 12-pitch at bat results in the strikeout. The Expos coming up to hit in the bottom half of the 8th.
Research shows that cold sufferers...
Center field, Grissom, El Presidente, El Perfecto.
Probably the most famous call in all of Expos history, and there was the gentleman who had the fortune of calling that game and several games as the Montreal Expos broadcaster, Dave Van Horn. Now a Florida Marlins broadcaster. We got a chance to catch up with Dave yesterday, showing off his ring a little bit. I mean, how could you not? You would think the ring the Marlins won last year would come with a bodyguard. They're so big. Brendan Harris on the ground, left side. Mordecai over to first, one down. In between innings, Brad Wilkerson, who left this game earlier, was shown up on the Jumbotron here, out and acknowledged by the fans. 3 fantastic years for Brad Wilkerson to kickstart what is a fantastic, or what has been a fantastic career so far. Hard-nosed player, all 3 outfield positions, a little first base. Some more of the passionate fans in attendance here. Endy Chavez is the pinch hitter. David Weathers, the new pitcher for the Florida Marlins. So after 7 strong innings, Carl Pavano gives way to Weathers, who is 7-7, 4.31 ERA. And it looked earlier this season that Weathers' career might have come to an end, but he has found a new life in Florida. Endy Chavez lifts this ball to right center, and over to make the catch is Chris Aguila, 2 down. Let's get you back to the Score Studios with Jim Bambulis for the sports update.
Thanks very much, Sam. Let's get you down to Houston. Cardinals, Astros, bottom 4. Morgan Ensberg takes Jeff Suppan to right. That's gone. His 9th, that's barely gone, actually. 2-run shot, 3-2 Houston at that point. It's now 4-4 as St. Louis has scored 2 in the top of the 6th. Roger Clemens doing not bad so far.
The 2004 edition of the Montreal Expos. Josh Lavandera, 2 outs in the inning for the rookie. He is 0 for 5 to start his major league career. Lavandera from the same area in California that you're from, Rance, and a pretty likable young guy.
Yes, he really is. He brings a lot of intensity to the game. David Weathers, former Blue Jay. I believe that David was a part of the 93 club, may have been a September call-up, but nonetheless part of the 93 World Championship team in Toronto. Has went on and had a fine career.
Continuing to get major league hitters out. Made a couple of spot starts for Florida, whose schedule has been nuts since hurricanes have struck that area. A couple of doubleheaders. Lavandera caught looking as called by first base umpire Josh Lavandera. We go to the top of the 9th with the Expos trailing 9-1.
When I want a Hershey bar.
Well, as you mentioned, Chad Cordero, first-round draft pick. He's spent very little time in the minor leagues, but you can see why. He has an explosive fastball to go along with an excellent slider, a very hard slider with good downward movement to it. And the one thing that stands out to me is he appears to be, for a young man with such little experience, to have a lot of composure on the mound.
He does, and that's one of the things Frank Robinson felt would make him a good closer, is the demeanor he has for such a young guy. And I know the schedule has really taken its toll on Chad. Pitch inside to easily misses.
Well, in his first year of a full major league season. He's never experienced that before, and it's considerably longer than anything else I'm sure that he has experienced.
And for that matter, it hasn't been really a regular season. The Expos stops in Puerto Rico. One home game that wasn't actually a home game in San Francisco. Playing a couple of games in U.S. Cellular Field, home of the Chicago White Sox due to the hurricane. Damon Easley past Brendan Harris into the left field corner, and he's got himself a 2-out double.
Well, Damon Easley right here hit what looks to be a slider that left, Chad Cordero left middle in, didn't get it away. And Damon Easley stayed on it very well and drove it down the left field line for a double. But you know, one of the things for especially a young player coming into the big leagues and establishing himself, it's not so much the physical end of it, but it's the mental grind. And you have to develop mental toughness to perform consistently day in, day out.
That brings up the 8-hole hitter, Alex Gonzalez, who looks at strike one. Easley on at second. After the first out of the inning here, the fans got on their feet and they refused to sit down here at Olympic Stadium. An unbelievable outpouring of emotion. And we're only in the top half of the ninth. Fouled off by Gonzalez and out of play. Looked a little dicey early on as we underwent a 10-minute rain delay, or not rain delay, but a 10-minute delay in the top of the third inning after several objects had been thrown onto the field. The game at that point was in question on whether or not it would continue. The fans have settled down, and what were bitter cheers early on in this game have turned to cheers of celebration.
Well, I think they're just really making a point to try and send this Expo Ball Club and show their appreciation to the players that have been here over the years and this year as well. Give them a nice positive send-off.
The 1-2 from Cordero. Gonzalez caught looking. So Cordero strikes out Chris Aguila looking and then does the same thing to Alex Gonzalez. And a special night it is indeed. Rather than take a commercial break, we allow the viewers at home to take it all in here at Olympic Stadium as we move to the bottom half of the ninth inning. The Expos trail by 8 runs. A small miracle needed to come back in this game. With the crowd here for a few seconds. We will leave you to go back to the Score Studios for an update and then come back and take it all in here, middle of the ninth inning.
Thanks very much, Sam. We'll get you back to Montreal just in time for the bottom half of the ninth inning. But first, let's update you on what's going on in Texas right now. Anaheim and Texas, both teams involved in a very, very, very bitter AL West race to the end. It's going to come down to the end. In fact, here's Kevin Mench in the third inning. He's going to double hard to left field. Here comes Blaylock. All that part of a 4-run third inning for Texas. It's now tied at 5. So in the 6th, let's get you back to Montreal.
there's again just a huge outpouring of emotion for the Montreal Expos. We move to the bottom of the 9th inning. Meister Asturis facing Rudy Stienez. First pitch in there for a strike. Asturis in this game 0 for 3, a couple of ground outs to second base. Flying out to left in his first at bat. Pitch a little high. Stienez, a deadline deal acquisition from the Kansas City Royals. Good numbers for Stienez. ERA right around 3. 3 wins to go along with 1 loss. Stienez works. Asturis hammers this ball to right. Aguila giving chase at the track, at the wall, and makes the grab. Asturis gave it a ride, but this Olympic Stadium right field's a long way to go. And Asturis is retired, but makes a loud first out here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Well, puts a good swing on this ball. Just gets a little bit under it, a little too much air under it. A power hitter can get away with that, but a middle infielder, you miss it a little bit and it just doesn't carry enough for you. But nonetheless, a good swing and a pretty good running catch by the right fielder.
Good awareness of where the wall was, and he went right back and used every inch of right field to make the grab. Stienez works to Valpascucci, 1 hopper to second base. Picked and flicked over to first base by Damian Easley. 2 down in the inning.
Well, Rudy Stienez, pitcher that has pitched with a number of different ball clubs, but a guy that's always possessed an outstanding arm at one time through 95, 96, 97. And still, you can tell by looking at his numbers, there's still a lot left in that arm.
Another situation occurring on field. Some of the few here trying to spoil it for the rest of the 31,394 that are in attendance. 2 outs in the inning. Termel Sledge is the hitter. (9-1) Florida over Montreal. Fans on their feet would love to see one last hit from Termel Sledge. With every pitch, flashbulbs flashing here in Olympic Stadium. What could very well be the last pitch in this ballpark, the last major league pitch. The Expos have more games to play, but they will not be played here. They'll be played in New York against the Mets, where it all started back in 1969. 2-0 count to Sledge. Stienez checks the sign. The catcher, Matt Trainer. Feels low into the dirt. That ball will be thrown out of play. (3-0) count. 2 outs. Meister Asturis led off the inning. Flying out to right. Valpascucci grounded out to second. 3-0 pitch in there for a strike. You can see all the flashbulbs going off as that pitch made its way in towards Termel Sledge. Stienez works. This ball popped up left side. Mike Mordecai, go figure, a former Expo to make the catch. And that is a very sad day, the end of a sad day for the city of Montreal, for our country. The last out at Olympic Stadium. A fly ball by Termel Sledge to former Expo Mike Mordecai at third base. Frank Robinson will take that ball and put it in his trophy case. An historic ball it is. On a night when the Montreal Expos fall 9-1 to the Florida Marlins.
I think it would be appropriate and a very good gesture if the the Expo players and staff would step out of the dugout and take one last bow here and show their appreciation for the support that they have received here over the years and this year from these Expo fans.
We saw this earlier before the game had started. All the footage. In Jerry Park in 1969. To the move of the Expos to Olympic Stadium in 1977. Steve Rogers, Jerry Carter, the Hawk. What a career he had here as an Expo. The Rock.
Pendant ces 36 années, j'espère qu'un jour on aura un miracle où ça reviendra ici. Alors je vous remercie beaucoup au nom de tous nos joueurs. Merci beaucoup.
Just want to say from everybody from the front office to security staff to the ushers to the guys that work in the clubhouse and to you fans for coming out. Just to everybody, we appreciate everything from the front office to the staff to the fans to the ushers to everybody. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts. May God bless each and every one of you.